Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another TravelMole interview during this COVID-19 crisis. They're becoming more and more regular, and I'm delighted today to have one of the better-known personalities in American inbound tourism, one of the big stars of the DMCs, the DMOs, whatever you want to call them these days, and that's DT from Kissimmee. Good afternoon, DT, or good morning for you.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How have things been during lockdown? Have you acquired new skill sets? Are you a single-figure handicap golfer now? Are you a cordon bleu chef? Could you swim the English Channel?
Well, none of that actually, but I do actually have shorts on today, and usually I wouldn't have shorts on a Monday morning at work. So we're still working. Most of us are still working from home here. So we've all had to, as all of you have, adapt to the differences in working from home and working from an office. But all in all, things are good, and we're moving forward and keeping our chins up just like you guys are over there.
One of the, obviously Kissimmee and the Orlando area from which you're based is an extremely popular, if not the most popular destination for long haul holidays from the United Kingdom and for the rest of Europe. When do you think, and it is a little bit of a crystal ball exercise, but how confident are you, and roughly when do you think that we will be allowed to visit your destination without quarantine and without too much concern about our personal safety?
Gosh, that I think that's anyone's guess, and things change every day, and day to day, hour to hour, even sometimes things are changing. And we've had starts and stop announcements on flights and things back and forth from the UK. So I really think it's going to depend on how we move forward in the next month or so. But we're hoping that this fall we'll see some return to normalcy, and we'll start to see our international business start to build back country by country. And I think that that's what's going to happen. Is it's going to really depend on each country and what happens there. So we're hopeful for the fall. But as I said, everything changes daily, and that it's really anyone's guess.
What indications, if any, have you had from European, and specifically in this context, UK tour operators, that they're going to resume their programs? And indeed, have you any indications? I know that some airlines are going to start flying back to Orlando soon, but that's just an aircraft. It's not really necessarily a purveyor of great numbers of holidays. It may be for second home owners, for example. What have tour operators expressed to you in terms of resuming their programs?
So the tour operators have all stayed, very strong behind the Kissimmee product and the Central Florida product, and they know that, as you said, that's one of the most popular long-haul holidays for the Brits. So, we're not seeing any movement amongst tour operators dropping, hotels or moving away from the destination. They're all very, very supportive of the destination. And what we're hearing from the tour operators is that a lot of holiday makers that had scheduled for this summer the majority of them are rebooking, rescheduling. So that's a very positive, either very late into 2020 or moving their holidays to 2021. So we're not seeing a ton of cancellations or a lot of cancellations. So, that indicates to us that the destination is still very, very popular and strong amongst Brits.
Good, that's very good. And while we're still on the question of tour operators, and have you found one of the big things here in the UK, and I'm sure it's across the world, is about money in tourism? And when we hit the COVID crisis, obviously there was a lack of it. Have all of your hotels been paid by tour operators? Are the majority still in operation? Have they survived so far?
Yes. I'm not, I don't know every single hotel, but for the most part, everyone is in good shape. We actually had late last week, our largest property, the Gaylord, with over 1,500 rooms, they reopened last week. So with the reopening of the Gaylord, the majority of our hotels have now reopened. and the vacation home product has reopened as well. And the vacation home product is actually booking very nicely, despite the fact that Disney's still not open. So we're quite positive there. But yeah, we've had all of the majority and most of our hotels are reopened, and a lot of the smaller attractions as well have reopened. And we have a few coming online this weekend for 4th of July that will be kind of the final ones to reopen. And if tour operators or anybody's interested in what's open and what's not, we constantly are updating our website, the homepage of our website. We've redesigned that several times over this crisis. And so all of the openings and closings and hours are posted. As you may know, we've had the governor put back into effect the no alcohol at bars. So some of our local taverns and things have reclosed. So we're keeping track with all of that. So all of that information is available online on the homepage, and it's updated every single day.
Okay, well, it seems quite perverse, really, because whilst Governor DeSantis is shutting down alcohol in Florida, our Prime Minister is actually opening up alcohol on July the 4th here in the UK. Following on from that, do you have a feel, or do you actually have any evidence? Have you seen it yourself? What changes will people see? Will the pools be closed? Will the buffets be finished? Will staff and indeed guests have to wear masks? And once you've answered that, perhaps you can also take on the question of villas. Kissimmee have done an exceptional job of branding themselves as, if you like, the villa capital of Florida and villa capital of the USA in the last couple of years. What's the difference there, and what sort of standards are you looking for in terms of cleanliness and health?
So all of our properties have really taken this seriously. And again, we actually have a section on the homepage of the website that will post all of their cleaning procedures and safety procedures, so that you can go and see what's implemented and what their rules and regulations are. But in terms of the procedures and things, they're being very precautious. They've added extra staff just to clean things down, wipe down elevator buttons on a regular basis and things like that. In terms of, I'm sure you're aware of the new regulations that are going into once the parks reopen. Universal's already reopened, but the consumers will be they will be required to wear a mask when at any time that they're in that park, other than when they're inside a restaurant eating. And so there's those kinds of things. Temperatures are being taken at some, at the entrance to the parks as well. So there's those kinds of things. But in terms of cleaning and safety, there's very rigorous, and even the very small mom and pop hotels that we're known for along 192 in Kissimmee have adopted new cleaning procedures and things like that. In terms of the vacation homes, as I said, those are booking really nicely. Actually, what we're seeing right now is a big surge in bookings from Florida residents, because as you guys have been, we have been quarantined and been, captured in our four walls with our kids and our work and everything, and not really being able to get out and see family members and friends and stuff. So when things started to phase open, what we're finding is that Floridians are looking for a change of scenery, and some of them are looking for to reunite with other family members across the state of Florida. So we've seen a big surge in rentals of the vacation home, even though Disney's not open, and the vacation homes have really taken this to heart. There's an association, a statewide association, and they've adopted safety measures and cleanliness measures. And the other thing with the vacation homes that seems to be very popular is you have your own private pool, typically in the backyard, that are cleaned professionally. You don't have to walk through a lobby with a lot of people. You go to your home, you can cook your own meals, do grocery shopping, and stay within the confines of the home. And as you're aware, Graham, these homes some of them are just outrageous, with all kinds of activities for children and things, with game rooms and all the, all the bells and whistles of these big theaters and things like that. So the cleanliness and the safety issue has really been taken to heart, as I said. And, we feel confident that when people come, they're going to feel, as safe as they can. For the most part, masks are encouraged and in some cases required at different businesses and around the location. So, that's one of the things. But as you know, from knowing the destination, we also have, not only are we at the gateway to the world's most famous man-made attractions, but we have, what's unique about us, when you consider us against like Orlando, is we have a lot of eco-based nature tourism attractions, airboat riding and kayaking and wild safaris now and things like that. And so those activities have reopened and they have become very popular. And with those activities, when they're outdoor and they're in the open air like that, folks aren't required to wear the mask and things. And so it's a different scenario for some. And we're really, pushing the fact that you can do these wonderful activities, kayak the headwaters of the Everglades. You can't do that anywhere else. And really, take your family back to nature and really, in these times of crisis and things, there's nothing better than to get out on those waters and kayak through, 300-year-old cypress trees and see alligators and birds and turtles and things. So it's something unique that Kissimmee has. And so we're really proud of that and think that that's going to be very popular with our holidaymakers as well.
Given where you're located, domestically, the drive holiday, the drive and stay holiday appears to be very popular here in the UK. With the relaxation of lockdown last weekend, virtually no self-catering accommodation, what we would call self-catering vacation homes, are now available between now and the end of October in many cases. Will you be pushing that and promoting that aspect of your destination a little more, if not internationally, then domestically, and then maybe internationally, where there's a feeling that you're going to be, if you like, you're under your own control? As you said, you're not going to go through a reception with lots of other people. You have your own private pool. You can do your own thing within your family unit, within your own bubble. Is that something that Kissimmee will be promoting, perhaps a little more than being reliant upon Disney and Universal?
Well,
not that you were ever reliant on Disney and Universal, I might add.
Well, the vacation home product, as we call it, is about 50% of our product right now. It's grown tremendously over the last 6 or 7 years. So it's a huge part of what Kissimmee is and what makes us unique really throughout the state. There's no other place in the state and very few places in the country that have the amount of inventory that we have in terms of that. So the depth of product is fantastic. And as you said, it's very popular right now. And that's what we're finding, is that what we've done is we have emergency recovery. Sorry about that. Sorry, can we pause?
No, you're all right. Carry on.
I don't know if you can hear. Okay. So we have
probably the governor trying to seek your advice on what to do next.
All right. So we have an emergency recovery marketing campaign that we've begun, and that's going to be done in phases. And so, as you said, right now what we're doing is really focusing in on the in-state market, the drive market, especially like this weekend coming up is a huge holiday for the Americans. So we're looking at really good capacity actually this weekend, and then that will phase out to fly markets domestically as the airlines start to rebuild routes back into Orlando, and then the third phase is actually the international. And what we'll do with that is take that country by country. But of course, the UK is our number one long haul destination. It has been and always will be. And so that's, one of our top priorities. So, we're, with our offices over in the UK, we're monitoring everything. We're staying in touch with the tour operators, with the airlines, so that the minute that things start to open up, we're ready to go. We have the messaging, we have the information available, and we have the product. So, that's kind of our plan right now. And as I said, as you know, and your listeners know, things change daily. So it's very flexible. It has to be flexible, and we can't put a timeline to it. So that it will be in phases. And so we're heavy into the in-state right now drive market. That will shortly move into domestic fly, and then and shortly after that into international.
One last question. I know you can't predict how quickly business will return to 2019 levels. That governor, he's persistent with you, isn't he? I know you can't predict how quickly levels of business will return to 2019, but often out of crisis and problems, there is opportunity. Do you see this as an opportunity to underline the brand credentials that you've worked so hard on with Kissimmee over the past 3 or 4, since you've been in the job, actually, 3 or 4 years, I can't remember how long it is now, of these natural theme parks, as I call them, of the vacation homes, of the access to Disney and Universal, should anybody want to go there, those types of things. Is that an underlining, or will it be a slight modification of your brand credentials?
I think that it's always been important to us, but I think that moving forward, you're going to see consumers' mindsets change a bit, and I think it's going to be very popular for for the future, moving forward to the future. So, we've been doing some brand analysis. We've been doing surveys with past customers and potential customers over the course of this crisis, and we're monitoring what consumers are looking for and what they want in a vacation. And we think that all of those natural type activities and things are going to really move to the forefront for a lot of families and things. So we've always been a family destination. We'll continue to be a family destination. And, as we move forward and through this, we will, modify what the brand is, tweak it, but I don't see us, redefining the brand or totally, changing, the messaging or who we are, about who we are, what we are. But we'll obviously tweak it. And I think that, in the long run, it's going to make us a much stronger destination and a even more popular destination, not only for Brits, but for from our other international clients and our domestic market as well.
Good. Well, DT, thank you for your time. I know Monday morning it is busy for you, obviously from the fact that your phone is red hot now, probably from Tallahassee. Those calls.
Sorry about that.
Doesn't matter. That phone's red hot from Tallahassee. So I thank you very much for that. I wish you the very best of luck. And I will speak to you hopefully very soon face to face.